have a couple of fellas really got the world exclusive that a Stargate movie has started to be filmed in London? They're claiming so, but what's the truth? Welcome to the Tachyon podcast.
Stargate! It might be Stargate!
Our Tachyon pulse has been unable to completely penetrate the anomaly.
You guys know me. If there's something Stargate, I'm going to talk to you about it, and I'm not going to mess around here. This is not Stargate. I'm going to explain to you why, and I am going to tell you what I'm 95% certain it actually is. But first of all, let's look. These guys, they've done videos where they get a drone and they go over and they drone over places and they film it. And they've gone to Sky Studios down in London, near London. And this is actually near the studio space where the original Star Wars were filmed, just out of interest. So they were filming this and they caught this, what you can see here on the video, of them filming this movie. You can see a ramp that comes down at one point, and that they're obviously getting ready to do sort of like some sort of guard of honour with these soldiers either side. Somebody said this looked like staff weapons, and actually on the video they then went live on Instagram or Twitter or something, and they were taking off suggestions of what they thought it was, and somebody went, Stargate! And that's what they've run with. One of the videos that's actually been released of this, through the drones, actually does state very clearly Stargate movie in development, secret. And yeah, you're going to see this video quite a lot, I imagine, on Stargate groups on Facebook for the next few months. Just like that bloody Chris Evans poster we had to deal with last year. Forever. This is going to go round and round. Why do I know it's not Stargate? Well, because I've been following the Stargate thing, and to be honest, everything that's been dropped over the last couple of years to do with Stargate has come from me. So, no, I'm relatively certain, I would bank my mom on it, that it's not Stargate. Also, it doesn't look anything like Stargate. Now, what is it? There's two possibilities. One is this is He-Man being produced, and that is being filmed at the moment, and I actually did contact my official source over at MGM that does get to talk to me in a little bit, and he says, first of all, he works on the TV side, he actually works for MGM Plus, but he said he is aware that He-Man is being filmed in London. He's not exactly sure where, but if you look at a few of the hints on this set, for one, to the left there's a row of what looks like teeth, curved teeth. I think that's going to be Snake Mountain. One bit, there is obviously a very large map, and it looks like a courtyard thing or something, and you look at that and it's obviously clearly not the Earth mapped on the ground, which they could be off-world. It could be like a palace off-world if it was Stargate. And as well, even though you can see that this is very modern with the ramp and stuff coming down, you can again see in the background that there are medieval looking structures, which again would work with Stargate. But to be honest, also works with He-Man, because He-Man, they had castles, very medieval type thing. They had swords and stuff, and you can see a lot of these guys, they're carrying swords and axes and things. And they've also got like medieval style like helmets. So that sort of, again, fits in with He-Man, even though He-Man then also did have modern technology spaceships and things. Eternia. Confusing place. There's another possibility though, because actually the Riddick Furya movie is also filming bits in London, and the studio in question is actually part owned by Universal, because it's Sky Studios, so they do a lot of Universal projects. Wicked was filmed at this studio, and that was a Universal production. But they also do rent out space, because actually the Paddington movie was Studio Canal, I believe, and that was filmed at this studio space. Also, a lot of Sky productions, because Sky over here in the UK do produce original movies, do original content, and that is all produced here. This is actually a very new studio space, modern, top of the line. You know, it's a very good studio. So it is more likely that it's either a Universal project or thing, but also it could be just anybody has rented the space. And I think that's what's happened in this case. It is the people that are producing He-Man for Amazon, and they have rented the space here to produce this. But obviously, there is a possibility it's Riddick Furya, but if I was going to put money on it, I would say it's He-Man. Now, It's quite actually hard to find out what it is specifically because they don't tend to advertise. They don't want people with drones flying over and taking pictures. So they don't tend to advertise what they're producing actually at the time. They will, celebrate it afterwards and put it on all of their media. But for now, they do tend to try to keep things secret while they're actually filming. So that's why we don't know exactly what it is. And I've only been told, obviously, the He-Man is filming in London, and so is Riddick Furya, but they don't quite know where. Could it have been Stargate? It could have been, because we know that's what Amazon are moving towards, or they were before Jen Salke left, that Jen Salke was pushing for a movie. We know they've got a script, and we know they were looking at doing a Stargate movie before everybody went on strike in 2023. So they could be moving forwards with this movie. The movie idea was going to be standalone. It was not going to be something that was necessarily out of canon. So the idea was to do a movie that was standalone in universe, but didn't actually reference SG1, SGU, SGA. So it doesn't step on canon, but it is a standalone movie. So it doesn't necessarily, it's not a hard reboot. They were going to try and find sort of like an in between, so they didn't need to put as much effort into it, I suppose. But they weren't going to step on canon. But I do think with Salke going, I think Stargate is now more likely to be a TV series. The only way this movie was going to happen was really if in this case they'd already started it, sort of thing. But it would be very, very strange for any movie to go into production and nobody know nothing about it. The fact that this is a film, and yes, okay, they are being secretive, it is going to be a movie that we know about. You can see that there is some sort of sci-fi, very big production. You can see, like I say, there's this ramp thing that drops, so it is, and then you can see actually there's a CGI character. There's a guy with the thing and the balls up and the thing. So that's going to be a CGI character that's quite big. Again, leaning more towards He-Man on that. And it wouldn't be Stargate. If it was Stargate, I'd be very worried because it doesn't look like Stargate. So I would be concerned if it was. He-Man, we know production is going along quickly, so this actually looks quite promising to me. The characters and the lineup, the way they're dressed. The only reason I actually mentioned Riddick was because the Riddick thing is based around the necromancers and the Furya planet, his home world. So the necromancers dressed a kind of bit like that. The armour reminded me of the necromancers, and they use swords and things as well. So that's why I do mention that. It is a possibility that it could be doing their external things, because they are filming part of that in London. But I think filming is almost done for Furya, so it would be surprised if it was that. But we'll have to wait and see. To be honest, we won't know until the movie wraps, and then they'll announce whatever it was. But guys, get into the comments, tell me what you think. Have you already seen this video and already pointed out that it's not Stargate? And already, you should be pointing out that, well, they didn't mention it on Scitrek or Tachyon Pulse, so it can't be Stargate. Get into the comments and tell me what you think. And if you do see it, tell people it's not. That bloody poster still goes round on the Facebook groups. It's so annoying. Also, get into the comments and tell me what you think. TV series, movie, do you care? Or do you just want Stargate? I'd love to know what you think. If you are new to the channel, please like, subscribe, hit that bell notification. It really helps us out, and you'll never miss any of our new videos. Also, you can become a member of the channel and get to see videos up to 24 hours before everybody else. Go check that out. As always, please stay safe, stay hopeful, and I'll see you next time.
Our tachyon pulse has been unable to completely penetrate the anomaly.